Hello and welcome to episode number 87 on the Online Trainers Podcast. Today's topic is take ownership in 2017 and grow. Hello and welcome to the Online Trainers Podcast, where we go behind the scenes to uncover the latest tactics and strategies top trainers around the world are using to get more clients, dominate their marketplace, and get their clients amazing results. There is absolutely no fluff here. I'm your host, Lynn Trim. Now, today's topic really comes back to a lot of the pivotal changes inside of my life, especially when I get asked questions, Lynn, what's the biggest momentum shift for you? What's been the game-changing thing that you've done? Almost looking for the tools and tactics. These are questions I get asked on a daily basis by trainers looking to grow and move out from being just a trainer to really running their fitness empire and really growing and building a team under them. So one of the biggest things for me, really, when I look back, isn't the amount of information I was consuming. And, for me, for a long time, I thought that reading books, I thought that reading Think and Grow Rich, I thought that reading The Magic of Thinking Big, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, things like that, and consuming information would be the key to my success. And actual fact, sometimes, I would consume so much, I'd be confused by what I should do next. And in consuming, I was making myself feel good, but I wasn't really taking any action. And in the world that we live in, it doesn't matter how much you know, it matters what you do with what you know. Okay, so you can consume all you like. And for me, the biggest realization came in my own consumption when I was starting to confuse myself and, paralyze my ability to take action because I knew so much. And sometimes, the best thing that I've ever done was be a little bit naive. Take part in something and move forward and be naive and keep that spark and keep that hope, because sometimes when you read into things a little bit too much, that can paralyze you and cause you not to take any action because you're like, well, now you're becoming too analytical. And one of the biggest reasons why I believe people who are too analytical don't move forward is because they analyze all the options, and then at the end of the day, they've created boundaries within their minds that stop them from moving forward. I hope that makes sense. But the success that I've had over the last 2 years and also in the last 12 months is really the naivety that I have in approaching a new opportunity. And for me, anything that I am passionate about now that ticks the box of fitness, health, business strategy, and personal growth, if it ticks all those boxes, then I'm in 110%, because that's really where I'm finding where my passion lies at this very moment in time. And of course, that might change down the future. As you walk through a door, you open up new, completely different opportunities. And as you grow as a person, that will continue to grow. Your passion will grow as well as your goals will change. But that's where it lies at this very moment in time. And so I get asked the question, Lynn, if you were to go back 2-3 years ago, even a year ago, what was the pivotal shift inside that really made all the difference? And for me, I talk about there's this one linchpin, the 80-20 success rule, that you have to know what action to take next. I always think of business and growth as you're playing this game of chess, right? And it's like you can take the knight in the next move, or you can set yourself up to win the game. It's a really funny story because I was playing chess in high school. I was one of the senior captains. And so for a lot of times when I'm thinking strategically, I think about how can I win the game and set myself up so that I do take the king and not just the knight in front of me. So really, the pivotal shift, I really have to say, is taking ownership for my own actions. And for a long time, especially when I started out and I was building this business and I wondered why my clients didn't get results, and I was blaming everyone else. Like I used to blame Facebook ads that it didn't work for me. I used to blame my mentors. Like I remember paying $25,000 to be part of this mastermind group, and I would blame them when I didn't get results, and I never took ownership on the results on myself. But I was expecting that for $25,000, even though I was promised a complete 6-7 multi-7-figure business and all that. I blamed people because I didn't get what I wasn't willing to put in the effort for. And so I thought my effort was the money. And to be honest, money is just your level of commitment. That's only the beginning. And your effort, the money, when you invest in something, that's the beginning. When you invest in something, you shouldn't think that that is the be or end all. Like you're going to get results just because you put money down. That's just you going, right, I'm committed. By you investing in money, whether it's my programs, whether it's other people's programs, whether it's a personal development, whether it's a coach, whatever it is, it's just commitment. It's saying that you're going to lock this in, that you're willing to do the work. Okay, it's like when people get married, this is great. Like people feel like they get engaged and that's it. And they propose and the engagement ring is like, that's it, we're done. This is it. It's going to work out happily ever after. And I don't think that way. I think that when you make a decision, when you invest in something, whether it's a wedding ring, whether it's a mentor or a coach, that is you going, right, I'm going to step up and I'm making this decision today to put in the work for the rest of my life. Okay, or forever how long I'm invested in you. And I'm deviating as I do, but I do feel as though these are a few important points, especially if you want to make 2017 a huge, massive growth year for you. It's starting to take ownership and not blaming anyone else, like not blaming people for what you can control, okay? One of the biggest things that you can control is your state of mind, because there are two states that you can live in. You can live in a negative state and negative emotion, which generally, I mean, there aren't any negative emotions if you want to quote me on that, but really it's living in this state where you feel sad, you feel angry, you feel upset, you feel hurt, and you feel as though you feel these emotions because you feel as though you don't have any control over the situation, especially if you linger on anger, if you linger on sadness. You feel these emotions because you don't see any other way out. Whereas these other emotions, you feel happy, you feel joy, you feel grateful, you're always feeling these emotions because you see a way out, you see how you can solve the problem, you see how great your life is. And why I'm telling you this is because when you take ownership, you start to move out of these negative emotions and you move into these positive emotions. And you're probably thinking, Lynn, what the hell do emotions have to do with how I can grow my business, how I can have a better life, how I can have more freedom? And the truth is, your ability to solve problems will dictate how much money you get paid. If you're a bad problem solver, you don't know how to solve any problems. If you solve problems that are currently being solved, if you put out a transformation program and 1,000 million people already have the same program or they can get the same solution from different people, you're a commodity, right? There isn't a reason to buy from you because there are 1,000 other million sources available. But if you can start being more strategic and start innovating, having a look at the problems that are current today that your clients have inside their headspace, I think one of the biggest things moving forward in 2020 is kind of the meditation, the mindset, the mindfulness. Rather than physical coaching, we're looking at mindset coaching. That's going to be a huge thing as more and more people try to find an escape out of all these distractions that we live in. And so your ability to evolve from best being a trainer will determine if you're successful in the next 10 years. And so it's called evolution. And if you can't evolve and you can't strategically think and you can't strategically solve problems because you're in a negative state, if you're angry, if you're fearful, if you're upset, you can't create and you can't innovate. You're not going to be a great problem solver, okay? But if you're grateful, if you're joyful, if you're happy, the best stuff I've ever done is when I've been grateful and when I've had a massive reason and when I've seen, like, I'm in this state where every day a morning walk is so crucial because that allows me to be in this better state, which allows me to think more clearly. If I'm waking up and I'm in turmoil because I've received 100,000 different emails and people are going off the roofs and I look at Facebook ads and I do all these things that bring me down, I'm not going to be able to think. I'm not going to be able to problem solve. And so I won't be able to evolve. And because I'm not evolving, okay, that's crucial to the survival of my business and my businesses. And the same thing with you. If you're focusing on doing the same thing and being constantly reacting because you're in a negative state, you're not going to move very far forward. And so one of the biggest things for me, in the last 12 months and the last 24 months even, that I've started to become aware of and I want to share with you is the ability to take ownership. You invest money in anything, that's just really going, right, I'm committed to this. That's just the start. Whether or not you get engaged or you propose, right? That's the start. But you're making a commitment to go all in now. To go, right, here's the money, here's the ring, I'm ready to make this work. And I want to do everything I can to make it work. And so a lot of the times, for me, the biggest shift was that when I invested money, I expected a result. And I'd expected not to put in as much, or I didn't feel as I should go all in because the train of thought that I had was, here's the money, give me the result. And the biggest thing in taking ownership was like, here's the money, I'm ready to work, right? It's a completely different mindset because when you come from that mind and you can get out of this negative state because you're not a victim anymore, it's a winner's mindset versus victim mindset, you start to create the world just so much better. And if you're struggling and if you're going through hardship and if you feel like the world's against you and nothing's ever working for you, I urge you to start taking ownership of it and go, this is a problem that I can fix and it's on me. It's on me because I view the world through my eyes, through my belief patterns. And right now, in order for me to make 2017 my bitch, I need to shatter those beliefs. I need to shatter the lens that I'm looking through. I need to shatter the lens that I'm viewing the world through, because it's not empowering me, it's not going to help me grow. And this is a hard thing to do because you know what the problem is, but you don't know how to fix it. You know that you're looking at the world wrongly, like you're almost wondering, well, what do I do next? And the first thing for me is telling you to make that commitment to take ownership, to not be a victim anymore, to go, right, whatever comes my way, it's on me, and practice it, because it's like going to the gym. You guys know this, right? It's like working out. You can't just do it once and expect to get a better result. The first time, the first week, the first month is going to be the worst. fast until you get those habits established. As soon as you do it, you just repeat it every single day. So the first step is awareness. Just catch yourself on being a victim. Okay, victimizing things, getting upset of things that are inside of your control. Second thing is start taking action and start doing something about it. So the first step is being aware. And when you're aware, that's great. The second thing is, how do you change now? How do you implement change? It's actually instilling small habits. The best key isn't a big, massive shift, okay? Because I've always wanted to make these big, radical changes. I'm like, okay, I know the answer. So give me this big, radical shift. But instead, it's not that. It's actually going, okay, every time I catch myself on this, what do I have to do? And then assess it, okay? Assess and reassess. So you really have to assess how successful you were that day. Catch yourself. How many times were you being victim? Okay, how many times did you get out of that victim state? If you really want to change something, you have to monitor it. You have to know what you're doing. You have to have data on what you're trying to change. That's the easiest way to make change. Okay, so I'm really telling you this now only because I get asked a lot of the times, hey, what's the biggest shift for you? Is it more information? Is it more knowledge? Is it going to more seminars? For me, it's just going, I'm going to take ownership of my life, and whatever comes my way, it's on me. Whether that's right or wrong, whether you agree or disagree with that, you can't argue that that's not going to bring me closer towards my goals of success, freedom, and more impact in many people's lives, having that and adopting that belief. So if you agree with that, then by all means, hey, take action today. And really your one task is to start taking, right, and start having complete awareness around you in 2017 and stop the excuses. The first thing is stop the excuses, because all the excuses just hold you back. And I'm pumped and I'm motivated about this because I put a status up my wall a few days ago, and so many people, it was really funny. I saw people that were successful and saying they agree with me, and I saw some other people who were like, just all of this Tony Robbins shit bullshit. And it's really funny because no matter what you believe, your question is this belief going to help you move forward, or is it not? I don't care if it's right or wrong anymore. I care that whatever I believe is actually helping me move forward. It's making me happier. It's making me a better person. It's helping me impact more people. And so that's the pivotal shift that I made. And I don't know when I made it, but along the way, when I think back, it was really going, I'm not going to be a victim anymore. Everything I do, the people around me, and no matter how they affect me, I've got a choice. And whether or not I take that personally, I don't take it personally. And so I've learned not take things personally anymore, because if I take things personally, I'm judging other people, and I'm judging them because I'm assuming a lot of things on their end. And right now, for me to assume, I'm just wrong if I make assumptions, because I don't have enough data on where they're coming from and where their beliefs are coming from. Because you know what? They've got 20 years or 30 years or 40 years of beliefs built up that there's no way I could figure out what the hell's going on and how they got to that point. So I'm super passionate about this, and I really hope you enjoyed this talk. It was a lot deeper than what I usually go into, but I truly feel that if you're going to make a big difference in 2017, if you're ready to rock it, if you're ready to make 2017 your bitch, it's time to take ownership. Okay, so if you're with me, send me a message, say, hey, I resonated with this podcast. Message me if this was complete crap to you, and you're like, and tell me why. I'd love to know, just because I want to know what your worldviews are. I want to know what your beliefs are, so that I can help serve you better, and hopefully whatever I can do to help you succeed, that's what I'm here for. All right, so have a fantastic day, and make sure that you do your one task for today. Alright, if you enjoyed this podcast, please leave me a 5-star review on iTunes, and feel free to leave a review, and that way I can respond and I can take that on board in developing content to serve you. Now, if you're not a part of the Online Trainers Club on Facebook, please do yourself a favor and be a part of the conversation. That's where I add daily tips, tricks, and strategies on how you can build out funnels, how you can get more clients, and ultimately become a better online coach. Thank you for listening.